fantastic episode of World's Finest. As always, we're your hosts, LT and Lee. What's up, buddy? How
Hey,
are
brother.
you?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I am good. Just ready to get into it, man. We've got some good stuff to talk about. Peacemaker, of course. We're going to just jump right into it, guys, and talk about that. If you guys have been listening, you know we have been singing the praises about a D-list hero that has become almost like, it's going to be funny when this becomes like the crown jewel of the DC
Right.
shows and movies and everything. I mean, I wonder if the popularity of Peacemaker will all of a sudden see like him being interjected in the Justice League movies, or or will they just kind of keep him on the peripheral as he is? But
like,
who knows?
He had characters like an overnight sensation. I mean, when they first announced it back in the day, that spinoff were like, Peacemaker, what? Who's this?
Yeah.
And now everyone loves it. I mean, if every character in that show is just great at their part. It's hilarious. I mean, and then freaking Eagly, everyone loves that damn eagle.
Eagly, yeah.
And then the standout character of that show, Vigilante, everyone just loves that show. I mean, from the cool intro, that catchy ass song, to that there's been an after and end credits. I don't know if you know, every episode there's been. So and it's really nothing connecting to the next episode. It might be like a little outtake or so, but those are just as funny. I mean, this damn show is hilarious.
It is awesome. It just is. It's great. But it's also, has that classic James Gunn gore that pops up every now and then also,
right.
You know what I mean, from his Trauma days. So, but no, another great episode. We've got 2 episodes left. This episode really surprised me, actually. Actually, I'm going to take a step back and talk about Vigilante. He is a breakout character on this show, but he's totally different than the Vigilante. And I do know Vigilante. Peacemaker I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Honestly, when they said Suicide Squad was coming out, and they named the characters Ratcatcher and all these people, I was not familiar with the majority of them. It's just true. But I do, but again, it's pleasantly surprised. Vigilante, I did know. And I'm aware of 2 Vigilantes actually that have been in the DC universe. One, the cowboy looking guy.
You're right.
I don't know if you even know about him. He was Vigilante. And then they had this Vigilante. Specifically, I remember seeing him in the 80s, and he actually carried his own title.
Right.
For a while also.
There was also a couple of action figures made of Vigilante.
Yeah. So and then we had him. This is not his first live action appearance.
Right.
It's actually he appeared in Arrow.
And
I think that probably Vigilante persona was closer, even though it was different than the comics. That Vigilante persona was different, or was closer to the comics than that, say, the Peacemaker.
Yeah, he was more what do you call it? I guess not tough, just a rough demeanor versus how we're seeing him now,
jokey and all that stuff, and it's really their answer to Deadpool, in my opinion. Deadpool, in my opinion, is kind of what they've done with Vigilante. That was James Gunn's answer to that. But so I guess I do like Vigilante a lot, but I was saying it's just a totally different character than what he was in the comics. He was more of like a Punisher type of character,
exactly,
and which he still is in the show, but without that wisecracking, funniness to him that's in there. So no, it's been great. I do think we got 2 episodes left. I was surprised to see what happened to the cops that we've been following through the season. I didn't realize. I mean, they're dead now. Unless there's some way that they bring them back after the butterflies leave that we're not aware of yet, but they're dead and now they're butterflies. I was reading that James Gunn actually had that actress audition the cop.
Oh, okay. The Asian cop,
he actually had her audition for 2 different roles, basically. You know what I mean? She auditioned for the cop, and then she auditioned for the cop after it was a butterfly. And he said there's lots of actresses that was able to do one or the other, but she was the one who nailed it.
There's 2 different personas. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Annie Chang is the actress's name, and Detective Sophie Song is the
Okay.
character that she's playing. But yeah, I was really surprised to see what happened. I didn't expect them to be taken over, and not just her, but the next thing you know, uh, the whole police station has been assimilated. I'll use that. I'll take a
Right.
Borg term from Star Trek, but assimilated into butterflies. And again, I was very surprised. I didn't see that coming. So it's definitely kind of exciting,
Well, yeah.
keeping
Well,
me
neither did I. I
surprising me
mean,
and stuff.
especially when Peacemaker had basically, it looked like he was making friends with that head butterfly that he had in the jar for a while.
Yeah,
They were talking and everything, and then when it escaped from Peacemaker, or after Peacemaker fell from the tree and went straight down, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna, in the butterfly is gonna infect her, or in whatever, assimilate her,
yeah,
and that's how they're gonna get away, because she's gonna be on their side. But no, that didn't
yeah,
happen. And then the
yeah.
police chief, I thought he was a butterfly, like Mur was, or what,
Yep. I did too, to be
like he was
honest
a
with you. So
good
I was,
guy, or
yeah,
or defector from the butterfly. But no, he was just some crazy associate, of maybe of a Waller's, or past, whatever.
yeah. Christopher Heyerdahl, Captain Locke is the guy you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
He was, you mentioned those end credit scenes, and that the most recent one had him, where he was like doing the smiling. He was trying to get himself into
Trying to
character
cry.
before the other people came. You know what I mean? To say, even though he was one that killed them
Oh
all. It was
no.
just so good. And then Eagly with Beast last week also. I mean,
Oh
was going
yeah.
through. I mean, picking people's eyes out. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. It was just another fun episode. It really was. Where's Judo Master though?
Right. I mean,
We
last time
haven't seen him
he was
since he
shot.
got shot.
Yeah. He should have been still there in the little HQ, getting, IV, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him again.
It occurred to me we hadn't seen him since that. You know what I mean? But I'm sure he's somewhere. I'm sure he'll pop up in this. Again, only 2 episodes left. I would imagine he'll pop up in this week's episode. And this episode took place. It took right. It began right as the last one ended. You know what I mean? With
Right.
Mern coming out, chasing Adebayo down, of course, which is name's daughter.
Right.
Oh my gosh, why can't I think of that?
Amanda Waller's.
Amanda Waller's daughter. Yeah. Chased her down, and then come to find out, Harcourt, when Harcourt pulled up, I was actually like, oh my gosh, is she a butterfly too? But she was just already in the know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
I'd already figured out.
what's his face? Diebeard. Also knew too.
Yep, I also do too. But no, and then we've got Robert Patrick, August Smith, Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker's dad, getting into his costume.
Persona.
Yeah, that looks. Yeah, his persona, which is the white dragon. Is
White
that right?
dragon.
Or red dragon?
Well, I think it's white.
It's white.
Yeah.
Okay, white dragon. Yeah. Which is like, again, just I can't imagine. These next 2 episodes are going to be fantastic. This episode was also directed by, he directed the first 3, I believe, on James Gunn, and then he took a little break, and he came back, and he definitely directed this week's episode, past week's episode. I don't know if he's directed the last 2. He was back for this one.
Right.
You could kind of tell because the music was playing a big part of it again and stuff like that. You know what I mean? When the butterflies came, when they took over the police station, it was like James Gunn's forte doing that.
Yeah, and I saw a little after note that John Cena was actually playing the piano at that part.
Yes, yes, he was.
He's a very good pianist too. I mean,
yes,
this guy's a jack of all trades.
Yes, indeed, he is. He is. So, how do you think the last 2 episodes are going to end? Do you think we'll see Peacemaker back under the Suicide Squad? Back in.
I don't know. I mean, now that he's basically, public enemy number 1. They are everyone's after him. Everyone who in the police department we saw that got taken over is gunning for Peacemaker. So I don't know if his little gang right now is going to, are they going to be able to pull it off? Are they going to pull, some Amanda Waller, hey, we need some help type friend, from
But think about it though. Waller is the reason that everybody's after him.
because she put the
Why? And so, what was the reasoning behind that?
exactly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was a fail safe at at one point or one part of a plan that just totally went awry, or. So I don't know. I mean, are we gonna see Amanda Waller again? Are we gonna see her daughter what do you call it, confess that she planted it?
Who knows? Because it seems like everybody was kind of surprised by that hardcore murder. Well, they obviously were. They weren't in the know for her to be doing that at all. So, and he actually tried to have that hidden, but then when the butterflies took over, that's when they decided to put that out there for the world to see and say he's public enemy number
Yeah, he's
one.
the one who killed everyone.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if the show ends. I mean, he's still got the bomb in his head. You know
True.
what I mean?
True.
From Suicide Squad. So I just can't imagine they're going to let him just after this mission. Maybe they will let him live his life. I think he'll be back in the prison. Maybe even along with Vigilante, waiting for the next Suicide Squad mission. Who knows?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was already talk about a season 2 for this show, and the way this has got everyone talking about a D-list character, like you said, from nowhere into like a bona fide DC moneymaker. They're gonna make season 2, no doubt about it.
I think so too. Now let me ask you this: is this a learning? Well, they've had some hits, so we can't act like they haven't. But is this a learning lesson for DC? I mean, Peacemaker's fun. It's a fun show. It's a huge show. I mean, this is them totally moving away from Zack Snyder's dourness. And again, this isn't me putting down on Zack Snyder. I enjoyed his version of the Justice League, and I enjoyed Man of Steel. I did all that. I did. I enjoyed it all. But there's been a huge outcry of people who haven't liked that, and this is a show that's totally moved away from all of that.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
think they're take that and kind of run with it, or what?
he's already made fun of each one of the Justice League members. I mean, like hardcore. And he made fun of what Wonder Woman and Flash this past one. Right off the bat, first episode was
Aquaman.
And then
and Batman in a way.
several Batmans.
And then Superman in the previous episode. Yeah.
So
talking about the different fetishes that he had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no. But anyway, yeah, like you're saying, like you're asking, I think so. I mean, there's been rumors where they of them trying to get away from the DC or the Zack Snyder universe. I mean, they're already kind of doing so with with hopefully, well, we won't know really until we see the Flash, because that's supposed to rewrite a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how they can, because they're almost done with what, Aquaman 2, but then again, we don't know about
2,
about the Flash. And then there's word that there is going to be a Wonder Woman 3 after all.
They greenlit that pretty much right after.
Right up, yeah. Even though the numbers weren't that good, and that was
still in the midst of the pandemic, and plus Wonder Woman 2 just was not that great.
No, it wasn't.
Not compared to the first. The first one was incredible. Part 2 was just terrible.
No. Yeah, and I mean, and like I said, they totally scrapped any kind of cyborg involvement, which is sad, because Ray Fisher,
in the Flash one.
Yeah, in the Flash, and even a cyborg centric solo movie. So I mean, it could be. I mean, we're getting the Green Lantern Corps or eventually on HBO Max, and I don't think that's supposed to be Snyder centric. No, I don't think so. Right?
No, I don't believe so either. I don't think it's supposed to be tied to.
And then
that.
We've got 2 supposed TV shows, one the Penguin, one in the Gotham PD, after this new.
Yeah, but those and that's all based on the Pattinson world.
Yeah.
And Pattinson that world, because that's totally removed from there.
But then you get the Batgirl, which we have already some shots of J.K. Simmons back as Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
So someone should make up their damn mind, because I want to see one coherent universe, even though multiverse type, but one main, you know,
Yeah, you can tell
Earth
other
one.
stories, but I would like to see, yes, to your point, I don't want to be, by all means, let's go to a different multiverse or different world, Earth 3, and have a story. But I do want that. And I'm not trying to say they need to imitate Marvel, and you guys have heard me say it over and over again, but I would like to have that one world where everybody does exist and they're all in the same, you know what I mean? And they can cross over and stuff like that. I mean, and maybe Flash will, I guess maybe Flash will put us on the right path because we'll see. Because it can't be too crazy because Aquaman 2 is after Flash.
Yeah. I mean,
So they've got to be talking. And the rumor
hopefully,
is Gal Gadot will be in, the rumor is Wonder Woman will be
in
in
Flash, right?
Flash.
As well
I think there's
as
going to be a lot of people. We're going to have Zod in
yeah,
Flash.
I was gonna say Zod is in there too. And like,
Yeah.
how is that tearing away from the Snyderverse?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'll be both. You'll be both. But anyway, we can both agree that this D-list hero is fantastic. We enjoy the hell out of that show.
And
So
I can't wait till he lets us know what other
Suicide Squad characters going to
Suicide
get
Guy.
spun off.
Yeah. I'm
It'll
hoping,
be good.
like was mentioned last episode, either Ratcatcher 2 or they bring back Polka Dot Man somehow. Those are my two favorites. Or just go off left field and find some other character we don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Or Javelin. Would you like to see the Javelin?
Yeah, look, he's hilarious.
So. But all right, guys, that's Peacemaker up for you. Next up, we're going to talk about the Mandalorian. Why? Oh my gosh, I didn't even mean to say it. I meant to say Book of Boba, but if you just randomly tuned into any of these last 2 episodes of Boba Fett,
Not have known.
you'd be calling it the Mandalorian also. And it was funny to me. So we talked about the episode that was solely focused on the Mandalorian. And this last week's episode, Boba Fett made a cameo. What amounted to a small, I don't even know if he said anything.
Just at the
I think
end,
Fennec Strand was talking.
Yeah, he said a little bit, but that was his cameo to his own show.
Yeah.
I was talking with my daughter, I said last week's episode, not last, well, the first one with Mandalorian, was the best episode in the whole show, and it wasn't about Boba Fett. And now we get the second best show in the whole episode, in the whole series, and again, it wasn't about Boba Fett.
No.
So I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously, they at the end we got to see them, unify. We see what happens. I think from there on, we're going to start seeing Boba Fett of course, in some leader role.
Well, there's 1 episode left.
Really? I thought it was 1, no 2.
I'm pretty sure that there's 1 episode left. Now let's get into the actual episode, though. All right, I was not first of all, I love Justified. I don't know if you ever saw that show with Timothy Oliphant. And so I love he's playing this character, Cobb. Is that what it is? The sheriff. I love that he's playing a very similar, of course, it's just in a galaxy far, far away. But
he's got that same Western swagger.
Yeah. And I loved how in the very first this episode, when it started, they reminded everybody, or they had, if they hadn't seen The Mandalorian season 2, then he would never have known this character. Cobb Vance, I think his name is. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But, they showed us that he was a badass gunslinger. He took those guys out, no problem. And so then the end, that's how it ends with
Cad Bane, the new
Cad Bane. So, and I never watched, forgive me, but I've never watched the Clone Wars, Bad Batch, none of that.
Bad Batch.
But I know the importance of this character is huge, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be able to see him in live action is pretty awesome. And he's got ties with Boba Fett, doesn't he? Based on the Clone Wars and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's why he called him out and said he is the ruthless killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they the Empire, said
back from the bounty hunter days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and how he just took down Cobb and the pure deputy, like nothing.
Easy.
you know,
So is
and
this dude
just
a gunslinger? Is that his forte? Is that his thing? Is
yeah,
he like a
basically it's like the good, bad, and ugly type thing. He's like the you know the ugly.
yeah?
Uh, but yeah, he's that's how it is. And but I don't know again, like you, I don't know much of his backstory. I do know that he is a one of those bounty hunters that, you know, if you want things done, that's who you hire. And
Gotcha.
obviously that's what we learning from him. The syndicate hired him to, you know, enforce and to protect the spice trade, you know.
Yeah.
And I really didn't see anything like that coming. And but of course, I don't get to see the episode when it drops. So of course, I there was some spoilers already
Hmm.
on Facebook, on the internet about him. But I am actually looking forward to see a you know a gunfight at noon, and what got high noon against him and Boba. See how that's gonna
Yeah.
play out.
See what happens for sure. Now, we have been dancing around this, but the highlight of the whole episode to me was spending a lot of time with Luke. You know, I mean, the more I'm seeing this, I'm just like, I cannot believe we're finally getting some story with Luke, and I still believe we might get a Han Solo. I mean, he won't have anything to do with Luke, which
So,
just again kills me that we won't get to see them interact yet again. But you know, I feel like we're gonna get to see a DH Han Solo or Harrison Ford in this last episode. Also, you know what I mean? I really do think we're gonna see it. But go back to Luke. It's just so great to be able to spend time with him because you guys have known that's all I've wanted to see since this original trilogy came out, is to see the continuation of my characters that I like:
right.
Han, Luke, Leia, Chewie, all that. And the more they keep showing us and giving us these little pieces, man, the more I feel like we could actually get one day a
Yeah,
show or a movie that takes place after Return of the Jedi that shows us what these
the
guys were up to.
yeah, the CGI for his face. I mean, it
It was
just
incredible.
it's incredible, and it's like way 100% better than we saw the first time in Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was just what, a year's time.
Well, the rumor is, and I wonder if he had anything to do with it. Didn't Lucas or Disney hire this
Oh, that
YouTuber who was
yeah,
really good with the doing all that. I don't
the
know,
deep
like better
fakes.
deep fakes and all that
Yeah,
stuff. They hired him, so I'm wondering if this guy worked on
could be.
Luke. You know, I mean, and we didn't just get like that small. I mean, Luke had he was in the Mandalorian finale for sure, but he didn't do a lot of talking until the very end. This one, he was like a character that had multiple
Yeah,
scenes. You know what I mean? With Grogu training Grogu, and again, we got to see Grogu. You know, see what he was up to. Here's the question: do you feel, what is the choice? I can't believe Luke gave him a
oh,
choice, but he did. He gave him this little. He's like, you choose this little tiny little uh,
the little
suit
tiny
here that
lightsaber or the little
the
chainmail.
Mando. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I love that he's giving him Yoda's lightsaber too. You know, and we got to see him building the academy that he's going to be the Jedi Academy. That was the beginnings
that
of
yeah.
that. R2. I mean, we got R2 in it, man. I mean, it was just such great stuff. I loved it. I loved it.
And we got Osaka too. Remember, we forgot about her. She's
Oh,
Rosario
yes, yes,
Dawson's character.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep, she was in there, and apparently, you know, which it begs the question. And maybe we'll get that. Where was she? Because she's getting her own show. Where
Yes.
was she during this whole? For somebody who's a pretty main character that was in the Clone Wars and all that, to be gone and like she was from the original trilogy is still a little head
Yeah.
scratching.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Where has she been? It was,
You
especially
know,
when there was like no more Jedi's, and
yeah.
yeah. No, I'm
So
I'm excited for that show. And of course Obi-Wan, but going back to like Luke, knowing the technology, and I believe that voice was not new recordings of Mark Hamill. I want to say I read
yeah,
that they got the history of speech that he's ever done, and now that it's an actual digitized voice of Mark Hamill's talk and speech.
yeah,
It almost sounded like it. There was some parts where that's not, you can tell that wasn't him,
right.
but yeah, no, if they can do that, I mean, hell, I would love to see, all his adventures after Jedi.
Yeah, yeah, man. It, I would too. I would like to see them adapt, which I guess they couldn't do now because that would probably change with stories like done with J.J. Abrams and all that. But there was a oh god, Timothy Zahn?
Wait,
He did the books that took place. There was a trilogy of books that came out that took place right after Return of the Jedi. And they were really great. I read them back in the day. The Timothy Zahn, they did
I
the
don't recall.
Thrawn trilogy.
Grand Admiral
Yeah, I would
Thrawn.
like.
Grand
It
Admiral
was a
Thrawn.
it's known as the Thrawn trilogy, and it's a series of books following the events after Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. It does introduce Grand Admiral Thrawn and
Well,
Mara Jade Skywalker and all of these people that you know.
isn't that who
Go ahead.
Osaka's after Thrawn?
Maybe, yeah. I guess you're right. Yeah. So anyway, I think she is. Yeah. So maybe I don't know. It just gets me so excited to see Luke running around like that, and I would just love to see that. If they would actually give us a show with those guys, that would be phenomenal. I don't think they will. Maybe they will. Who knows? Because they're doing a lot of cool things now, and maybe we will get to see that. I would love it. I would love it.
Yeah, no, and it's not stopping there. Like I said, we got that show of Osaka, and we got Obi-Wan. They've
Yeah.
just
I think May actually. Rumors that's going to drop in May.
May, yeah. What was that other one with
Oh, Osaka.
Rogue One? No, Rogue One. They
And
were
then
also Andor, I think.
Andor is called. Yep.
Yeah, and they've already greenlit season 2, even though season 1's not even out yet.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
So I mean,
So they're building out the Star Wars, man. They're building it out for sure on Disney.
and the way they're going, I think they can just do this forever with shows. I don't think they even have to make movies anymore.
Yeah, but I think we'll get a movie. I think there's too much money to be made out there for them not to do it. But Disney Plus is the way to go for now to tell all these other
This is
stories,
the
which
way.
are phenomenal. This is the way. Yeah, this is the way. Yes, that's the way to do it. No, dude, it was great. I mean, I think I'm trying to think if we missed anything in that particular episode. I think we've covered it all for that episode. Nothing that we missed. We got R2, Luke, training. Oh, my question: which way do you think Grogu's gonna go?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna see a season 3 of Mando, with Grogu, I think he's gonna choose. I mean, he's a baby. I mean, I think he is that father attachment. I think he's gonna choose Mandalorian. I mean, look at the ship. They even, where the droid goes behind Mando.
Yeah, they have a place for him. Yeah,
they encapsulated it. Before it was for where like R2, who doesn't need a dome of space. Now
right.
they made a dome. Hello. It's perfect.
It is perfectly made for him. You're absolutely right. So and maybe that's how I get my Luke and Han reunion. Maybe Luke comes to Tatooine or wherever they are to drop Grogu off. And what are you doing here, Han?
Right.
if indeed we do get Han in there, and my long-awaited Luke and Han reunion would be just a tiny bit, and then maybe they go off on an adventure that the show picks up one afterwards. Who knows? Who knows? It would be good.
Yeah,
and they team him up with old Donald Glover's. They team up with Donald Glover's Lando. That would be good stuff. That would be great. Yeah, man. So, dude, we've only got 2 or 3 more weeks also until the Batman comes out. I think tickets are on sale.
I think
on sale
I think they start the 10th. The Friday is the 10th. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah. Today's the 7th. Thursday, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. No, wait, today's Tuesday. I'm so wrong. Yep, it was Friday.
Tuesday the 7th.
Friday. Yep. So it would be Friday if they go on the 10th. And then that was 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away after that.
Badly, yeah. 3 weeks away, and then 3 hours of my life that I will love over and over again because I'm gonna watch it several times.
Are you going opening weekend?
If all goes well, yeah. If I can get tickets,
yeah.
I might even splurge and do the IMAX, but at least one viewing.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it too. I'm gonna do my best. I know when. Well, actually, my whole family probably wants to go. Serena's not so hot about it, but we'll all go see it.
Well, I mean, there was an article. There was an article already they're expecting like $150 million opening weekend.
Which would that would be the highest opening weekend for a Batman movie, because right now I think Batman and Superman has that record, and they're saying that could beat it, which would be great. I do want it to be a hit, I do want it to be a hit.
Yeah, a constant hit, not that one that drops off after the second week.
Do you like Spider-Man's doing right now? I mean, that was a huge Spider-Man. That's still making money, you know what I mean? And again,
yeah.
that one was more of an event because you had the culmination of two different Spider-Man stories coming together with this third one. But anyway, my point is, I'm looking forward to Batman. It's going to be awesome. 3 hours long. Going to be a long one, but I think it's going to be great. Matt Reeves directing it. I've liked his stuff before. The Apes movies. He did the last two of those. They were great, and I think it's going to be something special. I really do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, cool, man. I'm trying to think of, did we cover everything we wanted to talk about, or is there something I've missed? Or
no, there's not much out. I mean,
I did want to mention Superman and Lois. We talked about that briefly. You know, spoilers out there, guys. They're introducing Bizarro, and this Bizarro looks to be Bizarro's made a couple live action appearances before. He was in Smallville. I think he was in maybe one more thing that I obviously can't think of right. There was variations of Bizarro. Superman 4, the Nuclear Man was kind of a variation of him, and then the Superman 3, then when he fought him in the junkyard. So those were variations of Bizarro. This is more of the true interpretation of what Bizarro is, I think, in this, them showing him like this.
What I love about it is that they kind of like threw us for a curveball, because they were introducing some other character we all know about, and the way he was introduced, I thought it was Doomsday.
Yeah, I think
because that's how Doomsday, came out, and he was in that suit that I forgot, it was like a jail suit and everything, and how he punched his way out, and he was just beating the ever living hell out of Superman. I was like, oh my god, it's that Doomsday. Is that what it's going to be? And then all of a sudden you see that's Bizarro. Reverse S. He's got, instead of the freeze breath,
the blocking skin,
the heat breath instead of the ice, everything. I was like, oh wow, that
Yeah, it is the first true live interpretation of a live action Bizarro.
Yeah,
they're doing it great. And I think we've talked about it before. It's just totally different, just with the way it's filmed and stuff. But do you think they're totally removing themselves from the Arrowverse? There's supposed to be ties to it. They never mentioned Supergirl. And Lucy was a character in Supergirl season 1.
Yeah.
She was dating Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
And now it's like she's a totally different character in this one.
Yeah, it's the same actress, but it's a
same actress,
totally different way of how they presented her. Yeah. And if and I don't think you've seen episode 4, correct?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, she comes out in episode 4, and she's not the same Lucy Lane we knew from, if you remember or even watched Supergirl back then. Yeah. But no, it might be a different, universe. I don't know. I mean, he make, I want to say there was a reference to Flash or Ollie, and I could be wrong. Maybe I was just thinking it, but they did do a throwback. I don't recall what it was, but for the most part, it looks like they are distancing from the ever failing DC.
Well, Diggle was on there. Diggle, I mean, he was a character from Arrow, for sure. Yeah. But I still, so that the ties are there, but they just don't ever, he's part of the Justice League now. Remember, they called him. I don't think they ever called him Justice League, but they got the Hall of Justice, there, and that was all. He's got a seat there, but there's no references to anything. So it's just, I don't know where they're going with that. If he'll ever tie back in or what, But I kind of would like to see them at least acknowledge that Supergirl, or maybe have her make a guest appearance or something. I don't know.
Right. I mean, yeah, because Superman did come out on several episodes arcs in Supergirl. And in the Crisis crossover, So I don't think it's completely dead, but like we've been reading, the CW's basically on the chopping block or trying to
Yeah.
be sold, and
Hmm.
their shows are just going downhill.
But
So
they did put a pilot order in
two, wasn't
for
it?
like, yeah, for the Gotham Knights. I think they actually got a
Gotham
pilot
Knights
put.
and that
So who knows?
Super U or whatever
Which is not
cable.
tied to I know Gotham Knights is apparently not tied
No, no.
to the Arrowverse and all. So now
But
maybe that's their
that
first time that
project,
they're splitting up.
Gotham Knights, I would have loved to seen them start on HBO Max.
Yes,
You know,
without killing Batman, of course.
yeah, but still, I mean, there's so
So
many. It won't be. It's gonna probably be loosely based on the game, but
no, I don't think
we.
so because it's not even we don't even know which Robin it'll be,
Well,
if
yeah,
it'll
it
be
just says
Robin
an
at all as
adopted
his
son.
son.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he's teamed up with the bad guys' kids, which
kids.
is
Yeah,
just we've talked about that before. It gets me frustrated. I don't know why they have to take some of the licenses and then not attract people that would watch it. You know what I mean?
right.
It's just so crazy to me. So, but no, guys. So Superman and Lois is definitely taken off. It's great this so far this season. I'm really enjoying it. I think LT you are as well.
Oh yeah. No,
It's well done.
I'm pleasantly surprised with that show. I'm not a
Yeah,
big Superman fan, but yeah, I'm looking forward to each week's episode.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, me too. Guys, that's it then. It's just to the end of the episode. We've given you our thoughts. Please let us know what you think. Are you enjoying these shows? Are you enjoying Boba Fett without Boba Fett? Are you
Mandalorian
what do you-
2.5.
yeah, I know I'm definitely enjoying getting a lot of quality time with Luke. I would love to see them take him and move him on and give us some more adventures with him, Luke, Leia, Chewie, Lando, all those guys. I keep my fingers crossed that it'll happen. But that's it though. That's it. We just want to share our thoughts with you. Let us know what you think, please. As always, comment. Appreciate the people who have commented and said they've enjoyed the show. We're going to
Yeah,
try to keep it up.
we
Obviously, we want you
appreciate
guys
that.
to
Thank you.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
We definitely do. Please let us know your thoughts, even if they're bad. What can we do better? Just let us know.
Do it.
All right, guys. LT, thank you very much, my friend.
Lee, appreciate it. All right.
Yes, sir. Have a good day, guys.
We'll
Take
see
care.
ya.